Okay, so hello all. We are looking for the market to show us its hand at the moment, whether it is interested in going higher than the current all-time high, which is right here, or does it want to go lower. So, as for the news, we can see this was right there at 8:30. Currently, I don't hold a narrative. Most likely, my approach says since this was the previous all-time high, right, 394. So my current approach says that mm, most likely what I'm seeing is the market would come down, take that low out, and then want to go higher. So that's how I'm currently seeing the market. That's my narrative at the moment. And but that doesn't make me hell bent towards doing that. I'm just waiting for market to take out the high or the low and give us some clarity. Because why? Because we are at all-time highs, and shorting all-time highs is like requires a lot of conviction in the idea and what you're looking for and why you're looking for it. In the meantime, while it is doing its thing, I'll be watching it on the other screen. Let's focus what upon what I did in euro today. Okay, there's a very interesting day today, like very interesting. Like some Friday it was, honestly. So see that right there. That was I did also on the live stream. I took a sell, I believe, right here. Once this structure shifted and the market entered the 2 minute gap, if I'm not wrong, or hit the order block. I don't remember the exact thing actually, because I will tell you why I don't remember the exact thing, because I was too engrossed in seeing this low taken. So see how this is, like there's a decent setup. The high was taken right there. See that stop was taken. And then there was this gap as well, and the 50% of the daily gap. All of those things align, and then that rejection came in. So I used that to go short on this, and it went decently. I was looking for this low, but it never came till there, and eventually the news came and boom. So that's where I mentioned that I lost a lot in slippage, like double the risk. And that's when I again entered a short, and I also mentioned this on the live stream that I rarely enter a second trade in a session, until especially when I've had a losing trade. That's like, and especially in the same direction, especially in the same market, like too many coincidences right there, right? So I entered another short right here with that stop, aiming for this low, right? The low of that gap. And it was decent. I booked a very small position right here because this low was taken. I was late to book in on this particular chart, but I had booked something on my other accounts a little early, like on this very candle. So yeah, I booked some amount right there. As you can see, that would be, I don't know why it's not showing up. Okay, sorry, you have to click. So yeah, you can see I booked 100, like one lot right there, and I opened, I think, 7 lots, right? So that 7 lots were opened. One lot was booked here, and then once the market made this third low, I did see it, and I thought, I think my idea has failed, but for some reason I did not take a decision, and that some reason is, oh well, that some reason is hope. I had hope that I'll be right, and I also, again, why am I saying that I mentioned all of this on the live stream? Because not to show that I did say that, simply to show that I realized that this could happen, but I did not really took any decision on this because I was very hopeful, hoping that the trade works out and hoping that that low gets taken. Like everything was, I was not with the market, I was with my hope. So I booked a small position here, and during the live stream I said I don't want to see this go into the New York session. Okay, this particular trade, I don't want to see it go into the New York session, but it did clearly. And as the news was there, like about to come, I was like, okay, it gave me a lot of opportunities to get out, but I did not. And as you can see, you can see very well that was 6 lots, but got stopped out where? Right there. And you can see the slippage in that. My stop was not even there anymore. My stop was right here. Okay, like on this high, and still I got executed there at 378, right, somewhere right here. The same thing happened in my other accounts as well. So today I encountered 2 slippages, taking double the risk that I put in. I put in 0.75 and each time I lost 1.5%. All because I was hopeful of getting a profit and everything. Like I just went into observing my whole week, and it was so clean and so beautiful, like not in the sense of profits, like in the sense of me understanding the market, reading it, staying with it. Everything was there. And like literally yesterday I was talking about tilt. Okay, it's itself in the live stream only. I was talking about tilting, and here we have Friday, and this is how I tilted. So that is something to note, a day to journal and a day to, well, just register something. Apart from that, I think I'm kind of upset about it. The week was going very good, and again, when I say the week was going very good, I'm not talking in terms of profits. I'm simply talking the way I was connected with the market, the way I was following it. And this day and this session right here changed everything. Actually, this was not the change. To be frank, my hope was triggered on Thursday last hour itself. Okay, right here. So when I took that trade, I placed that trade order when the market was, like right here. Okay, somewhere here. I placed that order just in the gap and near the order block. This would be a 3-minute or 2-minute order block. It doesn't look like that on the 1-minute chart, but that's what it is. So I placed my entry right there at around 1340. Okay, and it kept on doing that. It came there quickly, but did not take my entry and moved above again. And still I waited, and I was talking to myself, and I was like, I don't want to see this go into the 1550 macro. Not for the entry. It can go into the 1550 macro to give my target, sure, but I don't want my entry to be triggered during the 1550 macro. And that is exactly what happened. Okay, so that's how the hope was triggered already. But then how did I cancel that out? I cancelled it out by not waiting for the target and closing it right there at 16, like right after 1615, right after market close. So I was able to stay out of hope in a sense, even though the whole entry was hope based, but still I was able to cut that down and take that, like take that small profit to just cancel out on the hope. But eventually I bleeded the same thing into the next day right here. Selling there, getting stopped out at the high end of this candle and losing almost 3% today. In fact, that is exactly 3%. Yeah. So I lost 3% today. That's the biggest loss in weeks, honestly, for a single day. I have not incurred such a big loss in many, many weeks. In fact, I think that would be 3, 4, 5, I think 5 months, 5 to 6 months since I have incurred that big a loss in a single day. Because my risk management is like on point. Okay, so I never go beyond, I barely go ever beyond 2% loss in a day. But there, today we have 3% loss. And as much as I was fearful to now push into the AM session and then eventually the PM session of NQ, I realized that it's okay. Like, okay, I'm not saying this in the sense of an excuse, because I do realize that I have a problem to solve, that is hope. But even the best of traders tilt, and it's part of the business. Like I was saying it yesterday itself, right? Talking about tilt. So that is part of the business. That's the risk that we have taken by choosing to trade, to make our own profits, to make our own living. And that risk would always be there. And I'm pretty, like, honestly speaking, when even when this happened, right, when these stops were taken, I did not feel a thing. I mean, it might even I thought I would be feeling something, right? कुछ तो मुझे लग रहा हो कि something is wrong. इतना loss कैसे होगा? Not, but no, I did not feel anything. I was like, okay, I was wrong, and I think I did something wrong, because these types of results don't come every day. That I take two trades in the same direction, in the same market, uh, in the same session, right? In the same direction, same market, same session. Like this, both trades, like this one right here, which stopped me out initially, which is not on this paper trading account because I could not place it here, and this trade right here, which stopped me out into in New York at 8:30. So these two things did not really hit me in any way. I was not like, yo, fuck, I lost 4 times the risk I took today. Not 4 times, sorry, twice the risk I took today. I took in total 1.5% of risk and I lost 3%. But that, even you can feel it in my voice, like when I'm saying it, I'm not feeling a thing. I'm not affected by that number. But what did affect me was, how the fuck did that happen? How did we come to this? That I had to incur a 3% loss in a day, and I went in the same direction, in the same market, in the same session. Hope. There's nothing else. It was just pure hope. I just wanted to work that out. And as much as I wanted to avoid this feeling that, oh, it's Friday and I might lose on what I've built this week, which I did clearly. But I wanted to avoid that, and so I wanted to function from a different space, which was a big mistake clearly. I should have just stuck with what? Reading the market. That's what I'm good at. That's where my skill is. That's what I execute upon. But if I work through hope or any other emotion for that matter, it's not going to really help me. Now, since NQ has taken that high, let's shift our attention back to the session at hand and let bygones be bygones. So, okay, I'm watching ES. If this is to go lower, I would like to see speed, and if we don't get that, and this time I'm listening to myself, if I don't get that, I'm not touching it, because it could be an easy, movement higher, simply nothing else. I know there's a big fucking RTH gap right there, and I do think it should come back into it, but I'm not again, I'm not hell bent on it. I don't want to be hell bent on it. Like, I know the pain that I went through today, and I don't want to go through that ever again. So I have to, and it cannot be done through rules. Like, if I think, no, I will take one trade per session, or I will do this, or I will do that. I have done that, and I don't know, it might work for some people, sure, but it doesn't work for me, because I feel restricted, and then I'm like, I cannot do anything, and then I go into a self-sabotage cycle, right? So I don't want to go there. So I'm not placing any rules on this, but simply I need to have an understanding that, uh, well, what I did was in hope, and I have to cut that down, like complete, not cut that down, I have to finish it. And I'm feeling very hungry right now because I was so stressed. And again, I thought I was stressed because of the loss that I had incurred, because of the the slippages that I incurred. And when I looked at the number, I was like least affected. I know when I saw the number, like losing almost, like on a 25K account, I lost almost 20, no, 2500 account, right? I lost like $700, okay, on that account. So when I saw the number, I was like, dude, I don't care about this. Like, I really don't. All this time I have not been talking in the air. I knew what I was talking about. I was like, I know these numbers don't affect me. I'm not doing it for that now. My intention is completely elsewhere. But what was the cause of me being in such a fuck up? And that was hope. And that's what I needed to figure out. That's why I was feeling very cringe when that stop was taken, when that slippage happened. I was like, okay. But yeah, the number did not affect me. And that is great, you know, that feels really great. I mean, when I there were days when I would see, even like, on the 25K account itself, like when I would say when I would see like a $50 loss or even a $125 loss, I would be devastated because of that. I would like, shit, I am ruined, this is not going to work. So there were days like that. And today is a day where I am seeing $700 in loss on that very account for this very day, for the very session, to be frank. And I'm least bothered by it. I'm least bothered by it. What was bothering me and is now not bothering me was that I was in hope, and I don't want to be there ever again. I've been there multiple times in the past, multiple times. I've spent my, like, 90% of my trading journey so far was spent in hope. In fact, maybe even more than that. Okay. And functioning from a space where you're not hoping and just being with the market, following the process, that is such a powerful space. Like, I don't know if that can ever be expressed through this voice, but I feel so powerful right now. I'm like, I feel complete. As simple as that. I feel complete. I feel powerful. Like, okay, I see what I did there and I'm least affected by the outcome. But I do understand that I made a mistake, an emotional mistake, and that emotional mistake was being in hope. And I never want to make myself go through that struggle again, where I'm hoping for an outcome, where I'm hoping that this week doesn't get ruined. Any kind of hope. The hope is like, hope is not just that, okay, hope I get profit. Hope I do not get losses, right? That's also a hope. And no, I don't want that. It feels very cringy. It feels restricting. And I came into this business for the freedom. I did not come into this business for being further restricted like I was with, oh, well, that's a bit too personal. Well, anyway. So, right. So restricted, I just knew I'm not coming here to be restricted. So hope is something that restricted me today. I could not take a decision. I realized that there's a good possibility that I'm wrong, but still I could not push the button to close the position. I was like, no, I think this will work. I think this will work. And I don't regret doing that, honestly speaking. There's no regret in that. Oh fuck, I did not take a decision. I'm like, why did that decision not happen? I need to solve that. I need to look into that. I need to be aware that I can still go into hope. And I have to be aware that I can spoil everything I built just because I have hope of building more. You're not trying, you're not hoping, you're fucking doing it. That's the only thing. There is no hoping for it, there is no trying for it, there is no maybe I can do it. I am doing it, I will keep doing it, and I'll follow my process like anything. I'll be with the markets. That's the only approach there is. Now see, if you look at NQ right now, I'm not interested in a short here, like not yet at least. I need to see something very clear, and that very clear thing would be right on the face. That's how strong my clarity is. It would be right on the face. It would be like, there is no other way, other where that it can go other than going for that low and eventually this all-time high, and maybe, which I'm not saying it will, but maybe that low. I'm not looking for it, honestly speaking, but because the gap is pretty decent, it might want to come near that at least. So yeah, that's something. At the moment my approach is clear. I'm waiting for this breakdown to happen. If it breaks down, and if it doesn't, what is the function going to be? No, I'm not going to leave it. It's not like, okay, if it breaks out of there and moves higher, I'm not touching it. That's not what I'm doing. If it gives me a clear view that it's moving out of here and now it's going higher, I am taking that entry. Like, that's how I'm functioning. I'm waiting for the market to show me what it wants to do, and then I'm focusing myself in that direction. That's the whole ball game here. And for targeting, obviously, like I pointed this out to, in case it breaks out of here, so I'm just getting it ready so that I clearly know what I'm looking for, how far I'm expecting it to go. And if the last one we see is right here, see that coinciding level right there, see that coinciding area. So these two things are what I'm looking at, like 570. If it breaks out, then that is where I'm looking at 570, 25, 570, and eventually 25, 615, 620, whatever it may be, somewhere in that region. So those two are my targets at the moment. If this breaks out above this, so actually I'm going to mark that so I have a vision as to where I'm seeing the market go. I think this would be fine. Let's just take it as green, and let's make it thicker. Same for you, bro. Green and thicker. All right. So there's that, and I'm going to settle this down now, and yeah. Now again, coming back to the same thing, I'm waiting for the market to show me that it wants to do something. Because why? The wait is also very necessary for today's market, not because I've taken a loss. I just wanted to point out, I'm not thinking in that manner that I've taken a loss, so I have to be very careful. No, not at all. I have to be very careful because the market tells me to. Why? We have this volatility right here, right? The news event. It was pretty strong, pretty volatile, and 9:30 open was dull, clearly, right? It was just ranging. So if I have to see something, let's say in this case, I'm looking for a short most likely. So if I'm looking for a short, it has to show me that very speed, not this speed obviously, but it has to show some kind of urgency to go below there and that high, old high. If it shows me that urgency and gives me a setup and an entry, I am all in. If no, then I'm not touching it. I'm just waiting. It could very well not give me an entry and break down and come to this area and then go for a long. Now that would also be something. I'm open to all those narratives. I'm not trying to block myself out. No, I only want to see a short. I only want to see it come back to this low. No, I'm not interested. I'm like, I'm free. I'm free as the market is, right? That's how free I am. And the market is free to do anything. And clearly I'm also free with the market. So that's what I'm following. Now comes the waiting. I guess I've talked enough. In fact, my throat hurts at the moment, but it's all right. I liked expressing that. I loved doing it because as much as it was said on a live stream, it also gave me a sense of clarity. It gave me a sense of trust in myself because I know what I'm doing still. Just because I tilted one day doesn't mean I don't know what I'm doing or what I should be doing or whatever. And also, just because I tilted one day doesn't mean, and just because I was able to manage that and understand that, doesn't mean that I will not tilt any other day. Like the next day it could be something else. Who knows? Like maybe I can even tilt, I can even tilt in this very session, which is highly unlikely. I'm not saying that I am tilting. Yeah, I am feeling that tilt anymore, because right now I'm completely into the market. I'm just watching what it's doing. So I don't feel that tilt. But I could, right? Just like the market could take that low or not take it, that same probability exists with me. So what takes me out of that? The clarity. And that's why I liked talking about what I talked about. Even though I was like, let's not, that's why I came late. I came in late today as well for the live stream. I was like, let's not do the live stream today. Let's just not talk about it. And I'm glad I did. Simply, that's pretty much it. I'm glad that I did talk about it. So I am waiting. I think I think the purpose of this live stream is already complete. Purpose in the sense, I'm not saying the live stream is over, but in a sense, the purpose of this live stream, why I needed to come live, why I wanted to come live, is already complete. So I would be waiting till 11 till the EM session gets over. Once it is over, I would be off, and then we'll see if we have something in the PM session. PM session, I don't prefer doing lives. It's like it's a very slow session and it takes a lot of time. Mostly, like yesterday's trade that I showed, right? I entered at 1340 and it came in to give me the entry at 1550. So that was like 2 hours of waiting for that one narrative. So yeah, that's not what I want to do on a live stream, waiting for 2 hours and then, like whatever. So still waiting on this. Let's see what it does, if it wants to go lower or not. Uh, the way I'm seeing the candles, I think it should keep moving lower, but it depends on a lot of factors still. See that order block right there, it might just use it to move higher. So see, I'm not engaging in any range bound ideas. Like I'm not interested in taking any kind of range bound approach. Just notice that gap right there. As you must have seen, most of my gaps are observational. I don't place them with the perception that they're going to be they're going to be a selling gap or a buying gap. But now look at this one interesting thing, which is okay, actually deleted that. I know, I remember I deleted that. See this? I painted it red, and there was this gap somewhere here or somewhere in between, which I again painted red. I don't remember where that gap was. I think this was the one in it was a 2 minute gap. Right there. See that? So I painted that as well red, not yellow but red. So that tells me how hellbent and how hopeful I was to see this outcome pan out. Coming back to NQ, and so yeah, mm, 2 minutes. 2 minute looks decent. I think we should be seeing that lower run now. We're heading into the middle of the AM session. Felt good, right? Talking about all of that thing, talking about hope, talking about that fuck up. It felt great. If it would have taken this drop sharply and left a gap, I would have entertained this as an entry for a lower run. But as you can see, it has not done that. Why did I say that? To explain the scenario. If it like like that's following the market, reading what each candle is doing. I know that I would be a very good mentor, as in not in the sense, I think not in the sense it was portrayed just now. By being a good mentor, I would say mentoring a particular person in a particular way. Like I function from a very personal space, okay? So mentoring someone closely would really mean me investing a lot of time and effort into that person. And I would love to do that. I would love to do that. And I know I have certain ways and perspectives that I could share. I would love to share. But yeah, that all thing requires a lot of time. I still have time before I get seen. I know that. And I don't expect to come here on the live stream and be like the king of trading, right? At least not in 1 week. That's where I'm aiming for sure, but it cannot be in 1 week. This is just the first week, and nonetheless, I'm still in a 3% profit for the week, even after facing horrendous, tilts and uh, sessions and trades, whatever. I think that would be it for this live stream. I have nothing much to share now today. As you can see, the market is also, because of this volatility, right? It's already out. I think the PM session would be much more interesting. But I would anyway be watching here. If I'll do something, I'll probably share. I'll not, no, of like I'll obviously share. I'm I will be doing that whatsoever. Like I did share the euro thing I did, right? So yeah. See you in the it's a weekend, right? It's a Friday. Sorry, I forgot. So PM session, I don't think I would be live. So we will be seeing each other in the Monday's London session. That would be the first thing. Thank you for watching and hope you learned something today. That's all.